Husky.
This is Steve Kerr, and you're listening to the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game.
All you film junkies out there, let's go, baby. We got another hour. I'm recharged now. I'm ready to go.
Are you ready?
Free agency frenzy.
Did you watch the film?
I did watch on who?
C.J. Stroud going number 1 overall?
No, I watched the games. Don't need to watch the film on him.
Game, though.
Great
People
ball
are thinking
game.
it's Anthony Richardson, not
Really?
C.J. Stroud they traded up for. Yeah.
Really?
Good luck with that.
I thought it was Stroud.
I don't know who. Carolina doesn't know who they're going to pick.
I think Bryce would be really good in Houston because I like that he gets to play in multiple domes. I like him in a dome.
In the dome?
Yeah, I just like him in favorable weather.
I like it. I'm fired up. Hey, there was a text I was going to read coming out. 650 Xfinity Mobile text line. I'm right there with them. Bonte, with all this uncertainty, I really wish the Niners had a Super Bowl in the bag. And we talk about uncertainty at quarterback, uncertainty with the defense. But we'll get to the Niners a little bit later. We'll get right back into it.
We all want the ring. I guess where I'm coming is,
and it does too.
In 5 to 10 years from now, I think when the Niners get their ring, because they're going to get one, I think we're going to look back.
You say
I think
that
they're
with
going to
so
have
much confidence.
I do because I believe in Shanahan and Lynch. I believe in them, and I think that what they do is sustainable. And I think we're going to look back, and I think it's going to be Niners above the Rams. Today, it doesn't look that way because I know McVay's got his ring, but I think 5 to 10 years down the line, we're going to look at their business model versus the Niners, and they're two contrasting styles. And I think the Niners are going to be the one on top.
Well, I wonder if that happened this year. Okay.
I wonder if the Phoenix Suns will sell their soul for a ring. Well, they actually did. They traded for Kevin Durant. And right now they're in 4th place in the Western Conference.
It's a great pivot.
It's a great pivot.
I mean,
you like that?
That
was next level.
That's
that was
why you're
art.
on TV.
That's art right there. That's why Eddie Johnson's my man. And now he's sitting there on the phone like, really, did this dude just say that? Well, Eddie Johnson, one of the best shooters a lot of our fans never heard of, who's lighting it up in the NBA for many, many years. Many years. And now he's calling Suns games, longtime color analyst of the Phoenix Suns. Don't forget about his Sirius XM NBA radio show. That is next level stuff where he has to sit there and just debunk everything from casual fans. Eddie Johnson, welcome back to the Morning Roast, my friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You got one thing wrong, though. Can I correct you?
Yeah, go ahead. I'm always wrong.
No, I didn't say that.
Well, our fans say that.
I'm not your significant other. You know we always wrong, right?
No doubt.
You got one thing wrong.
What's that?
Oh, your fans know who I am.
They
let me tell you something. I blitzed you all for many years. You can trust your dollar on that one.
Oh no.
As a Phoenix Sun and as a Seattle Supersonic, we put you all out of the playoff multiple times.
Yeah, that was.
They know who I am.
Well, that's pre-HD, Eddie. That's pre-HD television here, and we know you played 17. We know you played 17 years in the NBA. We know you've been with the Suns since 2003. We know about the Sirius XM show. Chris Mullin tells me all the time on the television side, "Yo, Eddie Johnson could go."
Well, Chris Mullin is right in front of your face, and he was on those teams.
Oh, I know.
Okay, so you bet your bottom dollar your fans know who I am. Don't slip on that.
No, I will never slip about that ever again.
Eddie, tonight, Suns Warriors. What is it with Klay and Book? Like, it feels deep. What is it? What do you think it is?
Say it again now.
What's the deal between Klay and Booker? Is it just normal smack talk? Is it one guy trying to come for another guy's belongings? Like, what is it? Why do these two not like each other?
It's called competitive spirit. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. They both respect each other. If Devin and Klay ran into each other outside of the basketball line, they would be fine. It's a competitive spirit. Like, Klay has been known as the best two guard for many years.
Right.
Great. Devin Booker has pretty much taken that mantle. Klay may be a little frustrated because of his injury. And that's what happened. So Klay's trying to prove himself still. Even though he had the injury, mentally, you still believe you're that guy. It is nothing wrong with what Klay, how he's responding at all. And, Devin is obviously the new kid on the block in regards to being the best two guard in the league. So I don't think there's any hatred between those two at all. I think it's a healthy competitive spirit that goes on between the lines. And then outside the lines, it's a different animal. And so I think sometimes people don't understand that part of it. Like, professional athletes at the highest level have a forgetful gene. Mm-hmm. You have to have a forgetful gene because in basketball, you can make a mistake, and you're still out there, and you got to kind of eliminate that and move forward with positivity. And we don't, if we carry forward the negative stuff, then we're going to struggle. So, you can get into it with a teammate. We used to have potential fights every day in practice. So, but after that, them same two guys at the club or at a bar or hanging out playing video games, having a great time. So I think people get lost in that aspect of athletes at the highest level. They think they kind of carry stuff forward. Some do. You all have a situation, obviously, with Poole and Draymond. I think we're all wondering if Poole has carried it forward, but only he knows.
Eddie Johnson here on the Morning Roast on 95.7 The Game. Of course, 17-year vet in the NBA, longtime color analyst of the Phoenix Suns back since 2003, I should say. Do you think that from afar, watching the Warriors, Eddie, that there's something lingering with Jordan Poole and Draymond Green? Because we're just talking about Jordan Poole earlier today, and he's been scuffling, shooting 25% from the three-point line in his last 5 games. He's just been erratic. Defensively, he's been a traffic cone at times, and he's not in the closing lineup. What do you think of the situation, and do you believe that it has festered with the Warriors this season?
I think it's a combination of stuff with Jordan Poole. As I told you, I think, he probably still has an issue with Draymond because I think the punch was meant to really harm him. Like, it wasn't like, it was almost like Kermit Washington, Rudy Tomjanovich type stuff. Mm-hmm. And we all know what happened to Rudy Tomjanovich when Kermit Washington connected. If that punch had connected, if Jordan Poole wasn't actually looking at it, and kind of like falling away from it as he was hitting him, there's no telling if Jordan Poole would be even playing right now. I mean, that was met with some vitriol. And I think that part probably in the back of Jordan Poole's mind probably bothers him, probably bothers, parts of his family and his friends. But I don't think on the court between the lines that's affecting Jordan Poole in regards to what Draymond did. I don't. I think between the lines, as I just told you all, you shake away, whatever feelings, whatever situations you're going through. Because trust me, players are out there playing every day. They'll show up to the game. They might have had an argument with their significant other. They might have a family member that is sick. All kind of things go on, and you have to go out there and perform in front of people. Like a lot of people, 9 to 5, they have those same issues, but they go perform without the cloud of people watching over them constantly.
Yeah.
It's a different animal. And so you learn to shake that off for those 2.5 hours to go out there and perform because, guys, that's your happy place.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most significant place you want to be as an athlete is on that court. And so I'm not going to let Jordan Poole off the hook there. What I will tell you is I think he's struggling because of the inconsistency of how he's used. And I've been there before. I've been a guy that started. I went to the bench. Then I go back in the lineup, go back to the bench, get taken out because maybe non-belief in my defense in certain situations. Maybe I was off that game and coach went a different way. With a starter that you trust in, like Draymond, for instance, even if he's off, he's going to stay on the floor. Like, his minutes are going to stay consistent. Mm-hmm. If Steph is off, he's going to stay on the floor. Mm-hmm. Klay is off, he's going to stay on the floor. If Jordan Poole's off, he might be on the bench. Mm-hmm. So it's those types of things that can throw you off.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably what he's going through.
As much as I want to sit here and ask you about the depth of your team now that you've traded for Durant and then he's out and Mikal Bridges was the Curry stopper, now he's gone, I want to ask you more about just NBA stuff because you played in the league and you've got a good perspective here. When you saw the Draymond Green, Dillon Brooks interactions back and forth and the podcast, what did you think, Eddie?
I loved it. I loved it, man. It was funny. Man, trash talk is beautiful. Yes. Larry Bird was the biggest trash talker in the history of the game. People don't know that. Like, this dude, man, I walked out my third or fourth game of my rookie career. Cotton started me. And I walked out, and it's just the jump ball. And he walks out, and the veterans told me about him, so I tried to ignore him. And he walks out, and somehow there's a delay in the toss-up of the ball. And I just noticed he was just standing there staring at me. And I'm like, why is this dude staring at me? I'm just going to ignore him. And he says, you see me staring at you. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
Wow.
He said, I'm going to wear your ass out. And then he looked over at the bench. Cotton, are you starting him on me? Out of your mind. Hey, rookie, I'm going to wear your ass out. All the players standing there watching it. And finally, I just couldn't take anymore. I just looked at him. I said, okay, bring it on. Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear. Now I'm going to bust you up.
How much did he score on you that night?
He had about 30. he took a shot from about 8 feet behind the three, which is unheard of in our era.
Right.
And he shot an air ball. And I laughed. And he looked at me and he said, see, you laughing at the wrong thing. It ain't the fact that I missed it. It's the fact that I can take it and stay in the game. So why don't you try it? And that meant something to me, right? But, man, I tried to go at him 2 or 3 times, and after the game, Cotton got so mad at me, I didn't play for the next 4 or 5 games.
Well, I'm looking at the box score now, Eddie.
That's beautiful trash talk, and I love that from him. He's one of my favorites. He and I have talked about it over the years. You know how that impacted me, and so I don't see anything with Draymond and Dylan Brooks at all.
Well, I'm looking at the box score here, Eddie, as we're talking to Eddie Johnson. 30 points for Larry Bird. 13 to 24, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Your stat line is 16 minutes. You were 2 of 9 for 6 points, and you were 2 of 5 for the free throw line. So, yeah, he got into your dome at the Boston Garden, no doubt about that.
Yeah, he did, man. You're a good researcher. Geez, let me hire you.
Hey, I can use another check, man. I can use another check, Eddie. Come on now. I can use another check. Hey, by the way, since we're talking about trash talk and everything like that, we got to get you on the golf course at the Olympic Club so we can trash talk you, since we know you're a little sensitive.
That, man.
No, you're a little sensitive to trash talk, Shasky. Who sounds like a sucker here.
I've been quiet. I have not brought it up.
Man, look, why don't you all know the schedule?
Well, it's a Monday.
So,
it's a Monday, and it's been raining out here.
The club's closed.
It's been raining out here, Eddie.
For months in a row. It sucks.
It's looking like we could possibly play in the first round.
I know.
Do the Phoenix fans
want the case? Eddie will be traveling with his club.
Oh, good.
That's good to know.
Eddie, I promise you, I will make it happen.
I'll have plenty of money. With me. And however y'all want to play.
Well, I accept Venmo.
Well, I'm sure NBA Sirius XM Radio probably pays a lot more than what's going on around here. So I don't know how much paper we'll be rolling with.
Hey, look, if it's $10 or if it's $100, whatever it is, I want to make it hurt.
Well, do Phoenix Suns fans want that smoke with the Warriors in a first-round series? Would they want those problems from Stephen Curry and company in a potential first-round matchup?
I think in the West, guys, I think it doesn't even matter, right? I mean, think about it. You're not going to escape having a patsy in the first round. I don't care where you are.
Yeah.
Denver could wind up playing the Lakers or the Clippers.
Yeah.
And if they do, I think they might get beat.
Wow.
If Sacramento plays the Clippers or the Lakers, they might get beat. So I'm not saying they would. I'm just saying they might. So that's a tough series. Us going against, right now, the Warriors or the Clippers is a tough series. So I don't think it's any kind of avoidance of anybody. I think whoever's playing the best is going to have a tough road. I would actually believe the team that's going to have the toughest time, but we've seen your team as they have rebounded last year and been able to win the title. I think the Warriors would have the toughest time. It's just based on the sample size of playing on the road. I mean, you guys look really scared when you leave home.
Yeah, 7 wins on the road. Yeah, no doubt about that.
So, I mean, that's the issue right now is, like, you leave out of your house, you kind of get a little scared. Mommy.
I don't know if they're scared. I don't know about that, Eddie. I think when the playoffs come around and the Warriors still in game one in somebody else's house, I think everybody else is going to be like,
ever gone in a regular season 7-26
hey, listen,
and won a title.
When the Warriors win game one on the road, I think those other teams are going to be screaming for Uncle, like, oh, no, here we go again. Now we got to go back to Chase Center, and we're not going to win a game. Real quick, before we get you out of here, 30 seconds or less, your NBA MVP. Is it Jokic, is it Giannis, or is it Joel Embiid?
It's Embiid for me. All due respect to Jokic and Giannis. I mean, I think all three are worthy. I just think, man, what Embiid does, he impacts the game come playoff time, and I know playoffs have nothing to do with the regular season, but he's doing it in the regular season. He can get the whole team in foul trouble, a la Shaq, but he also is a better scorer than Shaq, right? So in regards to mid-range three, his passing ability is good. It's not at the level of Jokic, but it's good. I just trust and believe in what he's done that would carry over to the highest level in the playoffs. Now, people will say, well, he struggled in the playoffs. Well, yeah. Well, last year my hair was a little bit longer than what it is right now. I'm going on what we're seeing today.
Yeah.
And right now, their record is similar to the Nuggets. And Embiid head-to-head dominated Jokic in their first meeting. And, guys, I truly believe come March 27th, if Embiid dominates Jokic again, he is the MVP.
I like it.
And that's just the way I look at it. But, man, all three of those guys have been unbelievable.
No doubt about that. Eddie, man, always fun. You're in town today, right? I'll come by and say hi to you. Maybe I'll take some money or something.
I'm in town today. You all put us up in the rafters to call the game.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, that's how we hospitality, man.
I'm tempted to get a drink while I call the game.
You might need one today with the way Steph Curry's cooking. So, Eddie, we'll talk to you soon.
What do you mean, Wade's cooking? He always cooking.
Yeah, I know. But you see what he's doing.
Steph's not cooking.
Well, I know. Well, he's cooking something special.
He's the most unbelievable talent that we've seen to play the way that he does. And I'm telling you, that kid almost beat me as a 7-year-old in his driveway.
Wow.
So I'll tell that story till I'm blue in the face. He almost beat me. I was not messing around after he went up 3-0. And I started shooting jumpers like him, and he was raining jumpers, man, from about 15, 20 feet, because he wasn't shooting threes back then, but they were like threes to him. Man, I had to go to the old man game. Backing him down.
Well, Eddie, we'll definitely come by and say hi. Should be fun, man. Warriors need to win against the Suns. They've come to 125, 134, and 130 against the Suns this season. They got to get a win against you guys to feel good about themselves.
Nice playing us without KD. The next time y'all see us, we got the sniper.
That is the slogan for the Phoenix Suns. Yeah. We'll get you next year.
Well, you know what? I'm not going to cry any tear. I'm not going to cry at all about it, because the last time you guys came to Chase, no Booker, no CP3, no Ayton, and you guys still rolled. Yeah, it was rough. It was rough. Eddie, take care, man. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys. Always great.
Anytime. Eddie Johnson, man. He's a lot of fun. He gets Warrior fans riled up too. Yeah, see our YouTube chat right now. They want some Eddie Johnson, of course.
Well, did he say something there? Wait, you have something to promote?
No.
I thought you were going to say he's courtesy of
I was just going to say, Sirius XM Radio. Been calling Suns games since 2003, that is. Sirius XM Radio's got a fun NBA show where he gets on his co-host.